Hello everybody, my name is Claire Gorman and today on my YouTube channel and video I'm actually recording what goes on behind the scenes in a private session. So what I'm working on today is actually doing house and land energy clearing. So these clients came to me because they have literally just put their house on the market for another try. Okay, cancel, edit and delete that one. But they came to me. They have been trying to sell their home for roughly about 5 years on and off. It might even be a little bit longer than that, but they've tried 3 times seriously and it has never happened. So they came to me with, is this something that you could look at and something that you can do? Because they could see on my website that I offered this type of service and they were recommended to me. So the reason why I'm also recording it is so that this lovely couple can actually see the video of what I've done and how I've helped to assist them in this matter. They are actually on the other side of the world. So from a time difference point of view as well, they didn't want to, they're an elderly couple, so they didn't want to get up in the middle of the night or really early in the morning because our time zones are completely different. So I have permission from them to do the digging and the investigation work. So when I do land and home healings and energy clearings, it's quite interesting. I've moved multiple times and I've used this process myself in some form of way, depending on what I get called to do. But today I'm going to do the full traditional version of an energy clearing, right? Because I can't visit the property and that doesn't matter. I just know that I can just tune into it through the Akashics. So the Akashic Records, if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, they are basically a energetic library for so much wisdom and information. The Akashic Records, everybody and everything has an Akashic record. So if you're watching this, you have an Akashic record, right? But also so does your home, so does your business, so does the land and things like that. So what we do is when we access the Akashic Records, we have so much wisdom and information at our fingertips that we can really go in and find out what is going on and what are the blocks to the transformation and the success you want. So this lovely couple, the success and the transformation they want is so that they can sell this property. They have lived in this property for over 46 years. And as I said, they have tried to sell this a few times. Now, the backstory of this lovely couple is that it's taken a lot of energy, a lot of soul searching to be able to put this house to market, right? I can feel the energy behind that. So what the issue is that when they've mustered up the energy, right, and there's been discussions between the family, because obviously this is a family home, or was a family home. So everybody has their part to play in that, right? And there's lots of different ideas and lots of different personalities to work through when it comes to this home. So this home has been within the family for, as I said, 46 years. So they've mustered up a lot of energy and a lot of soul searching to actually get this property to market. What's happening is they're not actually getting viewings, or the viewings that they are getting, it seems that the people that are coming in are just so misaligned to what the property is, right? They're also manifesting the wrong agents. So they're these agents that come along and they say, yeah, we've got people on the books. So these lovely owners, they're very, very trusting. They go with the agent and then nothing happens, right? Or they're just sending the wrong people to view the home. So what that ends up doing is it actually puts the couple into, well, why bother? Maybe it's not meant to be. We'll see what happens. And the energy of it is I want to say like a bit wishy-washy and a bit, oh, we'll just try it and see how it goes. No, right? You're either on board and you're doing this, or you're not on board and doing it. Don't dabble. You're either fully in and fully committed to doing this, or you're not fully committed to doing this. All right. Because when you approach something like a big decision around, like a marriage, having a child, right? Buying a house, selling a house, you want to be 100% behind this decision, right? So that's the first thing. They've also spent a lot of money on this house over the years. So having like that pre-consultation with these clients, there's quite a lot of information that's come through already for me that I can start digging on and working through. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit before we get into the actual digging. This process goes over 3 sort of different sections. The first process is me opening up the Akashic Records, right, of the home. So when I open up the Akashic Records, and I'll do this on pause, okay, because obviously I don't want to promote any addresses or people's name, right? This is incognito, so I'll do that in private. But when you can see me doing the information and I like to call it spiritual detective work, right, through the Akashic Records. So that's where I open everything up and I start doing the dowsing. So when I do dowsing, when I do the investigation work, yes, I'm using my intuition. Yes, I'm using my spiritual guides, but I'm also using a pendulum, and I also use dowsing charts, right? Because the dowsing charts give me the information, right? So I can start to work through things really, really super quickly. So it is actually quite structured, this whole process. So the first part is like the digging, the understanding, asking loads of questions and really finding out what the energetic blocks, what everything is that is preventing them from moving forward with their desire of selling the home. Right? They are aware that this stuff is powerful, right? And to be ready for a good shift. All right. So that's the first part. The second part, right, is actually making the transition and the changes. So we do the digging. The second part is making the changes. So we make the changes through pure guidance, and we do it in the highest and best of all concerned. And then the third part is doing the invocation. So it's whether you want to say, it's creating the energetic change. It's, some people say it's a bit like spell work. It's the healings, it's the clearings, it's the energy changes. It really depends what you're into, right? But I use a pendulum for everything. Now, the reason why I use a pendulum is a couple of reasons, right? A pendulum can be used for dowsing, for spiritual detective work, right? And it can be used for divination. Divination is creating the transformation, is creating the change. What I love about using pendulums is it's super quick, and you'll see me doing this. Okay, so you might be watching this and this is completely new to you, or you could be watching this and you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know how to do that. That's the type of thing that I do, and things like that. But it's super quick and it's super highly effective. And what I love about mixing pendulum work with dowsing and divination is the fact that you are not using any of your energy. So I know there are lots of different energy healers out there that will use different types of energy to move the energy of like the home and the land. And I'll talk a little bit more about the home and the land in a minute. But the pendulum, right, it actually gives you guidance, clarity, direction, and it helps to change and transform the negative energy into positive energy. It clears the negative karmic blocks into bringing it back to a sense of harmony and peace, right? It clears, if you want to say like curses, it clears negative energies, negative influences, anything along those lines. It really depends, what you align to and what your beliefs are in spiritual practice and spiritual work. So the pendulum is what helps me to create a fast, transformative outcome for my clients, and it helps to supercharge your results. Okay, so that's what I use. Those are my processes. I use 3 stages. I use charts. Okay, obviously I use my own intuition, and I have all the psychic senses. So I have all the clairs, and I have certain gifts and talents within my psychic senses. So sometimes I actually hear the messages even before the pendulum is already given it on the chart, right? So I do actually work quite quick. You'll see this to find out all the relevant information. So let's go back into understanding energetics of like home, why it's important to clear your homes and also clear the land. So obviously we're doing this for people to be able to sell their home. I actually do work with an amazing estate agent, and I, work alongside her. And I've worked with property developers. I've worked with people that are doing renovations on old property and things like that. So I've done a number of different healing home services for different people, right? I actually quite like working with the home. I to actually start to speak to the home, because the home has the record, but it has like a soul, right? So when you're doing all this type of work, it's really, really interesting in meeting the energy of that home or the land, and really understanding it from the home side of things. And that is what's probably going to come out through the reading today. Okay, so we'll do the reading, then we do the divination and the change and the transformation at the end. And then what we do is also at the end is that we put success anchors in. Okay, so what ideally could be our best outcome for these people. So our home has a soul, it has the Akashic record, right? So what does that mean? So anyone that's ever lived in that home will put into that home energetic thoughts, energetic experiences, whether there's been any trauma in that home or on the land, any memories, it gets absorbed into that home, right? So, it's like going around to, like, most of you have seen this. Hopefully that you've done a viewing on a home, and you walk into a home and you go, yeah, I could live here. And then sometimes you walk into a home and you go, this is not for me. I cannot see myself there. That's why a lot of agents will say, make sure you take all the personal photos down. We've got to imagine that the buyers can actually put themselves in this home. It's telling you to take out the personality of you from that home, right? But sometimes people that are very empathetic, very sensitive, that can feel energy or know about energy, they just will walk into a home and they'll know that whether they can live there or they can feel it, right? We have to take away those feelings and that energy of those of the owners, all right, so that these other people can imagine themselves being in there. That's why, like show houses sell really, really well, right? Because they're like a blank canvas. Some people go into a show home and go, oh no, it feels cold, right? Because they can't pick up on any of the feelings of the home. Or some people walk into it. I've actually bought a few houses where they're completely soulless, but it doesn't worry me because I can make the home a soul. I can bring out the soul of the home. That actually is what happened in our last previous house. It'd been on the market for on and off for about, I think it was 2 years, and it was an owner builder. And it was literally just built for this property developer to make money, right? And he never sold it. We walked in and I was like, okay, I can make this. And I did it and changed it, worked on the Akashic Records, changed the energy of the home. I did all my secret sauce that I do with these properties, and yeah, turned it around. We kept the house for about 18 months, then we sold it on. And it was interesting because when we put it on the market, a lot of the neighbours said, oh, that house always takes, they banished it with, well, actually, they were trying to jinx it, right? In all fairness, they're like, oh, that will take ages to sell. It took ages to sell before you bought it. So they're trying to jinx it. I was clearing, and we sold it within 11 days, right? And the neighbours were just like walking around with their jaw hanging on the floor. Even my agent was like, "How have you managed to do that?" And because my other friend who was helping us for staging, and she was our seller's advocate, she just winked at this other agent and was like, "Yeah, Claire does magic stuff. Don't you worry about it." Right? So it was quite interesting. So the home has feelings, right? The home carries memories. It carries experiences. Even like sitting here today, this room is carrying the energy of what I am saying to you, right? So, you know, whether you are watching this because you're about to sell your home, or whether you feel like your home has never felt like yours, right? So I would invite you to look at having an energy clearing, Akashic energy clearing through your home, 100%. So you have your home, but you also have the energy, you have an Akashic record of the land, right? So this is really interesting, right? And I know where these people live, right? There is some ancient history on this land. So I'm really excited. And I am such a history geek. And I think I'm probably more of a history geek now because I've done so much past life work, that I find it absolutely fascinating. So I'm really excited to go in. So this property is actually in England. Okay, so obviously England has a lot of ancient history. It goes back a long way. Well, all the land has a lot of ancient history, but I'm really interested to see, because I actually do know the village where this property is as well. So that's really quite exciting to find out. And I know it goes back a long, long way. It actually goes back, I've actually done some research prior to this, and it actually goes back to 1066. This is when the village was found, in 1066. So if any of my history fans out there, so that is the Doomsday Book, and William the Conqueror, it was 1066. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the land has on here. The other thing is that the beautiful couple sent me some photos of years gone by of this property, and really interesting, it just made me smile, was the house at the front used to have two holly bushes, right? And they always used to bury one on the right, one on the left, right? And in the garden, it had this massive oak tree, right? And the village always has beautiful old, I want to say like Morris dancers, like it's an old English, beautiful village. It's the type of village that you would see on Midsummer Murders, right? That type of thing. It has a local village school and things like that. So it's got beautiful history around it as well. But the holly trees in the front and the oak tree. So the oak tree is about the green man, okay, and the two holly trees in the front is all to do with like the divine feminine. So this is all like Wicca, witchcraft stuff, pagan stuff as well. So it's really interesting along the street that this house had the two holly bushes. They have been cut down now, but it had the big oak tree that actually blew down in one of the big storms, they told me, many years ago. So it's going to be quite interesting going through this property. So the land also can be influenced, right, by anything that has previously gone on the land. So say for instance, one of the areas that I used to live in the UK was near York, right? So the Battle of York, you had the Vikings, all of that, land battles, all of that energy that's gone on, right, has been absorbed into the land, right? If you think in Roman times, when they get the archaeologists and they start digging and they find all, like little tiles and little pots and all of those of years gone by, right? That's gone into the land. The land still holds that memory. Working out here in Australia, it's been really interesting. I've tuned into energetic portals, energetic spirals. I've seen like Aboriginal land where there's been sacred rituals of blessing animals. I've seen portals coming down and portals going up. I've seen portals of energy where souls will go through and a portal of light, like a rainbow bridge as such, going out to like the heavens. So when a soul has passed over and hasn't gone to the light straight away, it can hang around. But there's also energy portals throughout the country and the lands that help souls transition over. So I've seen a lot of that as well. So, you know, it's cool. The other thing that we can have is that we can have land spirits. So we can have positive land spirits, we can have negative land spirits. So negative land spirits can be a little bit cheeky, right? And sometimes we can have, depends what you're into, we can have elementals, we can have the fairies. So here where I live in Australia, I actually back out onto natural habitat. I've got like ancient old forest at the back of me, and we have deers running through, we have bush turkeys, we have koalas. You know, I do sit here and I do rub my eyes at times and think, oh my God, kangaroos we have. You know, I'm very, very blessed to be, you know, all that nature at the back of me. We've had lizards, everything. I've had owls in the garden. We even, not joking aside, right, when I first moved in, I thought, Jesus, what is that flying in the sky? Right, we even have bats. Yeah, absolutely. And I do giggle at that. I think, oh my God, you know, I have bats flying around my house. What the hell does that mean? Am I turning into more of a pagan witch? But there's magic out there in those woods, 100%, you know. It really depends on what you believe in, but the land does hold magic, definitely. So anyway, I'm digressing. I'm going to just press pause now, and I'm going to open up the records, and we're going to get into all the nitty gritty of what is going on for these people. Okay, great. So I've opened up the Akashic Records of the house and the land, and I am 100% connected. So I'll use my pendulum. Am I 100% connected to the property and the Akashic Records? Am I 100% connected to the Akashic Record of the land of where this property sits? Okay, cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my information here. Okay, so we've set the intention of what we want to do and what we want the outcome to be. Yeah. And how many blocks are there to clear in relation to our outcome, please? Okay, more than 10, more than 20, more than 30, more than 40. Okay, so between 30 and 40. Okay, 31, 32, 33, 34 blocks. So I'll just write them down. 20, 21. Okay, so I've got 34 blocks. Okay, can we have what they're made up of, please? What are the blocks? Okay, so we've got lower astral energy. How many lower astral energies have we got sitting in this property? Is these 34 blocks, so they consist over the property and the land? Okay, how many of the property got, please? 12? More than 12? Okay, so the property has 12, so the land has a lot. The rest is the land. Okay, so lower astral energy. How many lower astral energies are there around the property? Let's do the property first. How many lower astral energies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, lower astral energy, lower astral energy. So I write everything down so that I make sure that I have got everything as collated as the information, so I know how much I need to clear. It keeps me quite structured as well and organised. Okay, we've got low astral energy. What else have we got? Okay, we've got house spirit. How many house spirits? 1. Okay, so there's 1 house spirit. Okay, what else have we got in the house? Okay, so we've got an entity as well. Anything else? An entity. What else have we got? Okay, we've got negative thoughts and emotions. Anything else? Okay, we've got nature spirits. Is that in the land? Yeah, but attached to the house. Anything else in the house? Yeah, to do with the house. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a property curse. Okay, and anything else? Yep, to do with the house. Okay, there's a geopathic line. Okay, so is that all to do with the house? Yeah. Can we have what is to do with the land now, please? Surrounding land. Okay. All right, what have we got? Okay, so we've got a vortex going up. Okay, is the vortex going up? Yep. Up. Is there a vortex coming down? No, it's got a vortex going up. How many have we got? Just one? Yeah, okay, what else have we got? Negative thoughts and emotions, that's in the land. Okay, how many of them have we got? 12? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. What else have we got? Okay, so we've got land trauma, man-made. Anything else? Projections. Okay, I'm just going to go back. How many land traumas, man-made, have we got? 1, 2, 3. Trauma. Is that in the local area? Yeah. Projections. How many projections? 1, 2, 3 times 3. Okay, how many more have we got? We still got 3 more? Any more than that? No. That's a projection. Okay, and 3 more. What more 3 less have we got? Okay, there's a war, land trauma. What else? Okay, land trauma, burial. And is there anything else? There's a property cording. I know it says property, but there's a cording. Okay. Is there according to the property? Is there according to the land? Is that everything? Yeah. Okay. So the people might contact me back after this, watching this, and they might want to know more about the and go into it more from what the property curses and stuff like that. To be honest, do I feel that you need to go into a lot of this stuff? No, you just need to set the intention that you're clearing it. Some people might want to understand it more, like land trauma, projections, negative thoughts and emotions. Do you really need to know? Not necessarily. It's more about getting the clearing done and putting the high vibrations in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is the lower astral energy of the home. Can we just find a little bit more information out around that? What are the negative energies in association with the lower astral energy, please? So is there 6? Okay, what are the 6 energies with the lower astral energy? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Is it on this chart? No. Is it on my personal chart? Group 1, group 2, group 2 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay, so disheartened, drama, execution, fright, grief. Okay, so there's energy of grief in the house. Okay, can we have the second one, please? Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 3 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20, 20 and 30. Obsessive, poverty, remorseful, restricted. So you know how I was saying earlier that the house holds on to energy? Okay, this is what it is. Okay, number 3, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Group 4 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20, 20 and 30. Opinionated, pride, resentment, rigid, scorn, timid, uncertainty. Okay, so it's come out as uncertainty. Okay, number 4, group 1. Group 1 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Disempowerment, doubtful, emotional enslavement. Number 5, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Group 4 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay, dismissive, embarrassment, failure. And number 6, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Group 4 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20, 20 and 30, 30 and 40. Unhappy, upset, weak, panic, pity, stubborn. Okay, so we've got energy stuck in there, a lower astral energy of grief, restricted, uncertainty, emotional enslavement, failure, and stubborn, right? With anything like this, that we remove that energy, that negative energy, and we ask for the positive to go in, right? So that we clear that. That's one thing that we can definitely do, all right? So we're definitely going to be getting rid of that. So what I'm going to do now is grief into, restricted into, uncertainty into, emotional enslavement into, failure into, and stubborn into. So I don't choose, the guides choose. What's the best outcome for the highest and best of all concerned? What do we move grief into, please? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 3 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20, 20 and 30. Okay, here we go. Healthy, helpful, honest, honourable, hopeful, humble, influential, insightful, inspired. Okay, so it needs to go into inspired. Okay, restricted into what? Group 1, Group 2. Group 2 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay, deserving, determined, driven, eager, ecstasy, elated, empathy, empowered. Okay, so restricted into empowered. Uncertainty into what? Group 1. Group 1 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay, assertive, attentive, attraction. Emotional enslavement into what, please? Group 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Gifted, giving, glamorous, gleeful, glowing, grace, grateful, gratitude, happy, healed. Okay, so it needs healed. Sorry, Bonnie. Fail into what? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 3 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Gifted, giving, glamorous, glee, glowing, grace. Okay, I actually thought emotional enslavement was, I felt grace as I was reading through it, but it's obviously for this one. So fail into grace. Okay, stubborn into what, please? Group 1, 2, 3, 4. Between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay, light-hearted, liking, love, loving. Okay, so stubborn into loving. Okay, so that's where we start to change the energetics and the vibration, right? So I don't choose, the guides choose for me. So, you know, you might have think, you know, grief might have moved into joy, right? No, you go with what you guides are telling you, because it's done in the highest and best, right? I keep myself out of it as such. So those, I know the negatives have got to change into the positive as we do the energy work. Okay, house spirit. Is there anything that we need to look at with the house spirit? Yeah. Does that have a negative energy around it, the house spirit? Yeah. Okay, so the house spirit has a negative energy. So we'll change that. What's the negative energy with the house spirit, please? What's it attached to? Oh, okay. Is it okay? And what are we changing it into? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 3 between 0 and 10. Yeah, focused, fondness, forgiving, fortified, free, friendly, fun-loving. Misled into fun loving. Anything else to do with the house spirit? No. Okay, what about the entity? Is there anything we need to do with the entity? Yeah, just moving it on. Yeah, anything else? No. Okay, so we're going to clear that. Do we know who that entity is? Is it someone that's related? Yeah. Okay. Let's see, I'm not going to talk about that online. And does that entity have a negative impact on the home? Yeah. And what negative impact does it have, please, on the home? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, between 0 and 10, 10 and 20, 20 and 30. Okay. Misunderstood, obsessive, poverty, remorseful, restricted, scared, suffering, traumatized, unloved, violence, worthless, uneasiness. Okay, is it on this chart? Yeah. Okay, so group 3 between 20 and 30? No. 30 and between 30 and 40? No. Can you pick up the chart? Okay, is it on this chart? Group 1, group 2. Group 2 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay. Disheartened, drama, execution, fright, grief, hostile, indecisive. Okay, so it has an energy of being indecisive. Okay, and is that having a negative impact on the owners? So is it making them indecisive? Anything else to do with that? No. Okay, negative thoughts and emotions. I know we have a number of those. Can we have the negative thoughts and emotions? So we've got 1, I think it was 1, 2, there was 12. Negative thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'll just grab those so we can clear them. Are they from this chart? Yeah. Group 1. Okay. Group 1 between 0 and 10, 10 and 20. Okay. Disempowerment, doubtful. Yeah. So we've got doubtful again. Emotion. Okay. Second one. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get all the information so you can sit here with me, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've gone through and found out all the 12 negative energies that we had in relation to negative thoughts and emotions. So we've got doubtful, addiction, blame, disappointment, guilt, worthless, pessimism, vengeful, detachment, self-pity, weak, and frustration. And what I tuned into with that is that just needs a big clearing, and we just need to put one thing back, and that is the energy of grace. Grace is a beautiful energy. We do have a nature spirit, and a nature spirit with nature spirits. I'm just reading my notes here. With the house and nature spirits, right? They have experienced something, and they're carrying like shock with them. And actually, the nature spirit is actually got the energy of scared. And we need to change that into the energy of amazement as well. So that's quite an interesting one. How that was quite random from scared to amazement. Okay. We do have a property curse. So I've gone into that and where that's come from. And that is like a curse. I want to keep saying like it's financial, and it's all to do with money, and the house being a bit of a money pit. That's what's come out, and that's the belief. And that was cursed from actually the previous owners, who I know that the owners, the beautiful couple, said to me that they have, when they first bought the house, when they started to do a few renovations, that the guy, I don't know if he was a builder or whatever they said to me, but he did a bit of a dodgy DIY, and these new owners, who are the couple, ended up like having to spend an absolute fortune because a lot of this stuff was dangerous within the house. So from day one, it ended up costing them more money I shouldn't giggle, but it actually I don't mean it in that way, but it actually costed them a lot more. So the house was a bit of a money pit, right? So when you start off with that intention, it seems that's what's been stuck there. So obviously we're gonna clear that. The other thing that came up as well was there wasn't anything really to do. I just need to do the clearing on the projections, the land trauma, all the projections. but what actually did come up last was the property cording and the land cording. So sometimes people can actually cord so that they don't leave. So that came up as well. And the negative energy in the cording and the land cording was releasing neediness and putting in optimism. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got all the relevant information, is that I am actually going to do the clearing. So now I'm actually going to put this on pause, and I'm going to do the clearing privately, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've done the initial invocation. So that was setting up for success. The reason why I didn't have it on video was because I have to keep saying the property's name and the occupant's name, and obviously I didn't want to share that. So I have literally just channeled the information through. So the pendulum is still spinning clockwise. So that's showing that the information is going into the records, and then what's going to happen is that the pendulum is going to go anti-clockwise. So when the pendulum goes anti-clockwise, it starts to churn it up. Okay, so it's like dicing and slicing in. I see it as a bit like a food processor. So all the old stuff is just going into the food processor, and it's just been all churned up. Okay, and the pendulum will let me know when it has been cleared. But I feel with this one, it's going to go reverse activated, reverse activated. It's going to go back and forth a few times. Yeah, here we go. And then it's going to activate. So it's clearing things in layers. Okay, so I would have imagined that the first lot of the lower astral energies have all gone, of the grief, the restricted, the uncertainty, the emotional enslavement, the failure. So that's gone, and then the activation of the positive that's gone in. Sorry, I'm going to yawn. So when I yawn a lot, that shows me it's clearing. Okay, now it's going to be the next layer. So we're clearing the next layer through that we found. And I am going to grab another pendulum in a minute. Finish off with blue-green energy, because this pendulum gives off a white light. And the green, we want it to like activate. So we want to set up the intentions, the success, the third part with beautiful green energy. So I'm just clearing with white light energy through this one and activating, right? Now it's going to go back again and do another layer of clearing. That's the nice thing about the pendulum, right? The pendulum just does the work for you. And I'll know when it's finished, because it will say, it will go front and back. So that is my yes. So it will tell me that it's all been cleared. It's just going to do it in layers. Yep, so we're going to do another clearing. Yeah, it's going to do an activation. We're getting there. You can see it's just gently doing the last few bits. It's doing that cording. Okay, and it's showing me yes. Okay, so then I'll just check with the pendulum. Okay, has the house all been cleared? Has the land been cleared? Okay, so everything has been cleared, and has everything been activated? Okay, good. Is there anything else we need to look at in relation to this? Okay, is there anything to do with the land? I'm just going to go back to what I originally said. Is there anything to do with the land from it being 1066? Yeah, is there something that we need to look into with that? Okay, we do. Is that because it's in the village? Okay, so what it's showing me as I'm tuning in, because I'm just making sure that I'm covering all aspects, making sure I do cover everything, is there a collective consciousness bubble that village is connected into with the 1066? Okay, so so I'm feeling into the doomsday. Okay, so is it in a collective bubble of like sacrifice, hard work, struggle? Nothing is easy. Okay, so this element of doom. Okay, oh, I can feel that through my hand. Okay, so is there any spells, hexes, jinxes, incantations around that land? Okay, around that village? Yeah, okay. So can we clear in the highest and best of all concerned anything? So I'm basically doing a village clearing. Anything that we can do that we are not mucking around with the laws of karma. anything that energetically can be cleared around can be cleared, and just pull the negative collective consciousness of any old and collective projections. Can we just clear that now? Okay, so I'm just witnessing that. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a clear on this one. And let's just send some energy through. Sorry. I feel it because my body's moving as well. It's changing stuff. You're okay. Oh, it's having a good clearing. Okay, and we're just going to vacuum all of that off. Let's just do a beautiful activation. Let's just send beautiful 7th plane energy, creator's light and love. Just throw the energy of grace through there as well. So basically I'm just doing the like frequency of just clearing all old energy off that land around that village and things like that. You'll find that there are a lot of healers that will do things out of the kindness of their own heart with when it comes to, it's like humanitarian work. So they'll do like land clearings. So whenever there's, you know, wars or any natural disasters, there's lots of healers that are healing the planet. So this is a little bit of that going on around for everybody. Feel that shifted through my body. Oh yeah. Okay, has that all been cleared? Is there anything else that I need to look at that I'm not seeing? No, everything's been done. Okay, so we just need to set up, we've put in the alignment energies, the good stuff. We've cleared the old stuff, put the good stuff in, yeah. And now we just need to set these people up for success with success anchors. Okay, I'm actually going to do that offline because I think it's got to be like private and personal. But the third thing I do is I will go through and, you know, ask the guides what needs to go in as from a success anchor. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to energetically just make so because they're selling that, right, so that's the house clearing, but because they want to sell the property, we obviously want to set them up for success. So I'm going to put some success anchors into their Akashic Records into the home. I'm also going to check the price of the home, all right, where that should sit. Now that can actually bring up a lot of information for me, as in is the house aligned to the price? What the owners are thinking, whether the house is aligned to the price, and if there's any healing that needs to take place in order to make what the owners want the outcome is, what the house wants to come out as, and what the potential purchasers, right, want to pay for that house. I need to make them all aligned, right? Sometimes it can be really, really disconnected. So I need to have a look at that. I also need to look at also energetically, is there anything that needs to be addressed? Is there anything that needs to be looked at from an embodiment point of view? And what I mean by that is, do the owners need to do anything? So it could be, for instance, right, sometimes it's sending a message out to the universe that we are going. So is it starting to get boxes and starting to pack some boxes? I know they're probably trying to, you know, keep the house looking nice for viewings, right? But they could put a couple of boxes in the wardrobe and start to pack things, right, and label things up, because the universe goes, oh, okay, they are actually wanting to move. Or it might be that, you know, they might need to sort the shed out, or they might need to, you know, get rid of a few things, okay, or they might need to depersonalize. So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll get guidance, but I'll also go into the records and see what is it that they need to start doing and what do they need to stop doing. Okay, so there's a bit of that the information will come through, and obviously I'll feed that back to the lovely couple. So, you know, the third part, like with the setting up the success, it's getting the success anchors, making sure that it's aligned. Sometimes information's come through that they actually could even be using the wrong agent, what they need to start doing, what they need to stop doing. So that is like the third part with this. But we've done the healings and we've done the clearing. So if you were just having like a normal energy clearing through the house and the land, right, then that part has pretty much done. But now we need to take it that one step forward so I can really set this couple up for success. So let's wish them all lots of luck in their future endeavours, and I'll let you know. Keep an eye on my socials for any updates. But yeah, this is how I have gone about doing an energy clearing on the home and the land. If you would like to know more information of what I can do, then please contact me. All my details are below. So take care. See you soon.